There are growing concerns over the record number of RCMP officers currently on long-term sick leave. According to a report from the Management Advisory Board for the RCMP, the number of officers on long-term sick leave, look at that number, increased by 184% from 2010 to 2024. And while the MAB says the Mounties Unlimited Sick Leave pay model is at fault, the union representing officers says the report misses the mark on why officers are off the job. For more on the union's reaction, we are joined by Brian Sauvé, president of the National Police Federation. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Lindsay.
184% in 14 years. I mean, it's a staggering increase. Why are so many officers off the job?
Well, I think one, right, police officers obviously are exposed to more trauma, more physical issues, more challenges than the ordinary everyday profession. And two, we have within the RCMP an internally resourced disability management and accommodation program that we have called out to the federal government as well as to the RCMP. It's not functioning, and it hasn't been functioning. There are two pieces to this story, right? The member of the RCMP who's responsible for a number of things when they go on sick leave to keep that salary turned on. But the employer, the RCMP, actually must have a well-resourced and well-funded and fully operating accommodations program to reach out to those members and actually get them back to work in a timely fashion. That hasn't been happening.
I'm going to ask you about that in a moment. I want to point out, when an RCMP officer is on long-term leave, they do receive 100% of their salary for as long as they're off the job. Now, this report says the model that currently exists, quote, offers no incentive to return to work. How do you respond to that?
Well, I disagree, actually. If the Management Advisory Board had done a thorough review, for example, they would have seen that within our current collective agreement, after 1 year, our members stop accumulating sick leave, or not sick leave, annual leave. So there's one incentive. There is the opportunity to be medically discharged from the RCMP. There's the second incentive. And obviously, members are in the same Canadian healthcare system that every Canadian is, and we've seen challenges with access to healthcare, especially in rural and remote areas, access to treatment, access to prognosis. What we're seeing is that the members have incentives to return, but the management has no incentives to include a proper program. Our membership definitely receive 100% salary continuance, but we also don't have a short-term disability insurance plan that members can transfer to after 30, 60, or 90 days. And the only way we can access our long-term disability insurance plan is if we actually resign or retire from the RCMP medically. So the reason that salary continuance model is there is because there's no access to other insurance plans in place for that short-term or long-term disability.
So the RCMP says that it's reviewing the MAB's recommendations. What changes are you calling for?
Well, last year, the federal budget, when we made our submission to the federal government, we actually made a submission about the disability management and accommodation program in the RCMP. We suggested that an investment, a sustained investment of $20 million a year over 3 years and ongoing funding to have adequate number of nurses, adequate number of doctors, adequate number of professionals to be able to reach out to our members and provide those services effectively to get them back to work in a timely fashion. That is what we've been calling for a number of years, and we'll continue to ask for that.
Brian Sauvé, president of the National Police Federation, thanks for your time.
Thank you.